Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you something, man. David Benavidez is the truth, okay? There's something about him, and you see it in every fighter who is doing amazing things. There's something about the fighter that just jumps out at you. It may not jump at you initially, but you'll notice that there seems to be something there. But over time, you'll come to the conclusion that this fighter is going to be hard to beat. Now, when you think about David Benavidez and how it started, from him being this teenager that had ballooned up to 250 pounds, and father felt like he really didn't have the discipline needed to go on and become a great athlete. And you think about the sparring his father was putting him through, the training his father was putting him through, and the fact that his father decided to be a bit more hands-on and use a different approach in developing David than he did for Jose. Remember, his brother Jose had an expanded amateur background, and they traveled around a lot. But with David, father chose not to do that. David was getting on-the-job training there in the gym at home. And David, at age 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, was sparring the likes of Triple G's and Kelly Pavlik's as a teenager. And the shocking thing about it is he was giving them the business as a teenager. So when you listen to them speak about him, they're like, yo, this guy's going to be a champion. Because obviously there was something about him then when he was the fat kid. But him being overweight, and not just overweight, he was grossly obese, okay? But he decided, it kind of reminded me of Mike Tyson. They're not going to F with me anymore. And David Benavidez made a decision. And as an amateur, he had 15 fights, didn't lose any. But remember, his brother had an expanded amateur background. That's because the father, again, he chose a different approach with David. But when David fights, till this day, I truly believe he has that there's that fat kid in him. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I think there's that fat kid in him that's like, they're not gonna mess with me. And when he gets in that ring, especially since he's brought on Heredia, you can see that the fat kid is no more. He is what I'm describing as a machine. And that is what has been manufactured by having the pharmaceutical genius and the brilliance of the educated chemist, Angel Heredia. Because I want to make sure I footstomp this, because I talk a lot about the secret society, the cocktails and stuff like that. Let me just say this, okay, because I got to be fair. I do think Angel Heredia is making a big difference for David Benavidez. But I will say this. Angel Heredia was nowhere near David Benavidez when David Benavidez really got my attention. And when he went and he fought Jelly on Love. And he beat the hell out of Jelly on Love. That's when he really got my attention. I seen the highlights of him with the fast hands and all that. But when he fought Jelly on Love, I was like, damn, what happened here? I was having a tough time processing that. But nonetheless, he made relatively short work of him, knocking him out in the second round of a 10-round bout. Now, I'm also going to say this. When we talk about Heredia and Heredia helping him out, we can always make jokes and say, hey, look, with Heredia's history, there could be some foul play, right? And we can make jokes. There's no proof, but you just don't know. But what I will say is this. I think it's fair to at least have that conversation, as long as you caveat with there's no proof, right? But I think the reason why some people want to have that conversation is because, remember, David Benavidez had a positive drug test. There was a suspension and a title dispossession, right? Back in September 18, 2018, remember, it was reported that Benavidez had tested positive for cocaine, had a urine sample collected on August 27th by VADA. He was eventually stripped and received a 4-month-long suspension through February 2019 by the WBC. On 19 December 2018, and it was announced that he'd be returning to the ring in March. So there are some people who are saying, you know, let's put 2 and 2 together. You got, you know, David Benavidez, who's, some people don't want to let him escape from underneath that dark cloud. He was doing coke, right? I'm not making it up. That's a fact. And they say, okay, well, if he would do those kind of drugs, now he's hooked up with Angel Heredia. He basically has a supplier to do more, you know, bad things. And I understand how someone could come to that conclusion, but I don't agree with it. Okay? Because what I'll say is this. You know, David Benavidez is 26. He's still young. But when you are the youngest super middleweight champion in history, and you got, imagine when you were a teenager, right? Just say 17 to 21 years old. Just imagine when you were 17 to 21. If you would have, some of us were popular, but imagine if you were like, you know, a damn boxing champion with millions of dollars. Probably would have made a few more mistakes than you made when you weren't a boxing champion with millions of dollars. Some of you may have been, I don't know, I'm just telling you, I wasn't, but I was very popular. And I did some stupid stuff. I never did any drugs. I never smoked weed. I never did any drugs. I used to take my little drink. I like women. I was a hothead. I wouldn't change anything, but there were a couple of things being a hothead that just wasn't good, you know. But when you look at that, he's supposed to be young and dumb. He's supposed to be stupid and make mistakes. So I think he got those experiences early. So for me now to sit here and just look at what he's doing, I think I need to attribute that more to him having discipline and having received those lessons early in his boxing career than him fumbling across, you know, a championship in dough in his 30s and then starting to find himself in a world that's foreign to him and end up making some serious mistakes in his 30s. He made it young. And I think with that, it's going to be problematic for anyone he comes across because he's like, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna F with me no more. That fat kid's inside him and that young man's inside him that was doing that coke. And that everybody still looks at him as like a druggie and don't want to give him the respect. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna prove all y'all wrong. Y'all ain't gonna F with me no more. And that's why he says, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna prove that I'm one of the greatest, if not the greatest boxer ever to lace up a pair of gloves. Now, if he can become the greatest ever, you know, I don't know. But he sure as hell is on his way to establishing a very sound footprint in the sport of boxing. Does he need Canelo Alvarez? I'll put it to you this way. Canelo does not need David. Canelo is already there. You know what I'm saying? But if David could clip Canelo, look, that's a pretty big damn deal. All right? Especially if he beats him down and knocks him out. Passing up the torch. Right? The Mexican monster. People like him, oh, he's not Mexican, his mom's Ecuadorian. Look, he qualifies. Will y'all stop with all this bullshit? It's like Shakur Stevenson, you know, the man dad Puerto Rican, he qualified, he's half black, half Puerto Rican, whatever. Get out of here with that nonsense. Now y'all gonna sit here, man, and split hairs on David Benavidez. The man's proud to be half Ecuadorian and half Mexican, but you know he's Mexican. Stupid. But I think the torch is gonna get passed if he and Canelo fight. And this is what I'm gonna say. I think it's fair to favor Canelo. Look at his build. He has great defense, head movement. Canelo can sit in the pocket. He'll counter you. And Canelo throws hard shots. I don't think it's going to be as easy for David Benavidez to get a win over Canelo like he did against Durrell, like he did against Gavril, like he did against, I think he went and he fought, it wasn't Badu Jack. He fought, did he fight DeGale? I can't remember if he fought DeGale. But it's not gonna be as easy as getting those wins over those guys in the Caleb Plant And but with this new regimen he has, and this newfound discipline that he has, and the momentum that he has, and he's being active and he's young, I just think it's going to be a very difficult fight for Canelo, but it's going to be difficult for David as well. And I'm telling you, it's people out here wanting to say that David's going to just walk down Canelo and beat him down. You know, I got to say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Canelo has proven that no matter who you put him in the ring with, you know, that somehow he rises to the occasion, and he finds a way to get the job done. Against Bivol, Bivol's a different type of fighter than David. And Canelo was trying the wrong approach to trying to fight Bivol. But nonetheless, we just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to David Benavidez, I'm about to do another video. Some people disagree with me. I think Jamal Charlo gives everybody problems with his jab. All right, I'll just leave that alone, save it for another video. But I don't think David Benavidez is a guy. It's so much more than just fighting because he loves boxing. It's a whole lot of y'all ain't gonna F with me, man. And when you got somebody who's fighting for something like that, it's much bigger than just them championships. It's like I can't have y'all poke fun and laugh at me and tease me no more. Y'all not gonna mess with me. And anyone he gets in the ring with, you could tell he's genuinely a nice person. But when he gets in that ring, it's a totally different story. That being said, y'all keep cool. David Benavidez was a beast before Heredia, but Heredia just come and just taking him up a notch. And I just think understanding Heredia's background, he's an educated guy, degree in science, he's a chemist. He knows what he's doing. And he understands VADA, he understands the drug testing, and he knows what is not allowed and what is allowed. And believe you me, if there are certain substances that are allowed, but that can achieve the same results as things that are not allowed, it's fair play. And I wouldn't be surprised if though he was using an approach that may include some of those things. But again, you can't fault him, you can't fault the fighter. And I'm not saying I know that to be a fact. What I'm telling you is, it's me being a common sense man. I just think the strategy with supplementation being put together for David Benavidez is something that these other fighters aren't getting and can't get unless they have the brilliant mind of Angel Heredia in their corner. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze. Please make sure to subscribe. I'd appreciate it.